but I think that I gotta charge. Oh, that's good. I see myself clearly.
A new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work and left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We gotta protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no pops. Ebola, worshiping pedophiles. Wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace.
Yeah, that's that Philly cheesesteak up there.
Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released represent with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beach cups. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones.
Oh, they're gonna hide this. They get scared of these songs.
But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Nah, bro. Come on. Nah, come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive. Push up. I do it die for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just lie down. Blue sky but high ground. A crown slash helmet. So my aircraft stealth spit. Can't be tied down or even seat belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked that caused my hand, I dealt it. Felt it vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust off on some ices and veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly zone, haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the still hand, but we're Hiller man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheet. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow our set standards. To catch me, you gon' have to do more than scamper. Need more than scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as you goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm dated space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the cage, face off. Actor shape the state, use a fake, they fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing a step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas Carol lives what your fans get. Your worlds and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot. wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of the pie. And don't want to go for the pastor. And go for you niggas that think that y'all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas that know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people and old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you. So, y'all really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah, I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Looking past the shot spot. Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying that ops. From the skybox, I got scope on you pilgrims. The scope with some real ones. Some of our folks are still deaf and blind to the fact that blood, we gon' have this real song. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, placate or rage. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID's no issue. Could've bloated in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debacle's about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or wet. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech, yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me, stand on 2 feet, or jump the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence, mostly disguised compliance, silence by clients, from conspiring connivance, other aspirants of violence, tyrants of fire, trying that China's too high, I'm sure and defiant. In environments of migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my head, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hype. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm not lying. My refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push all the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck, true music for real. My soul they don't possess, real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them, it's personal, know what the business is. Big monsters come full circle, so vacate the premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, or Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Akichiwa. Signs and symbols are for the conscious minds, y'all. And with that on the temple, draw. I had a vision the past night, yet a circulus round created successful reality from a virtual now. How? Stand on my square cause they usurp your power. Them same little sneaky breezies that'll hurt you, they smile all up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all bras but dogs with whole trace. So I walk tall kittens while y'all cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw magic circle around me to keep me from harm. The law fat checks purposely will keep me up calm. Water, fire, air, earth, turn me from back. Peace to a bomb, blow the joint, to split the range, the plane, the sentiments. I've encompassed my inner demons. 490-degree angles, guarded by angel of shiny elite angels. Thank you, and I, of course, am the chief triangle. If I die before I wake, well, at least I'll fly in plain view. I am my circle, how I govern four corners. Wise as a serpent for certain amongst foreigners. Out of state, out of place, in the space they storing us. Learning firsthand of what fate was forewarned of us. I recall when bro and I spit flows, dope man, fly in the shell at Southampton, kept smoke. Stay high, years later, he's the same degree, just gained density. Gave my synopsis, he's hostage. I prayed I could save, I behave by locals. I've raised my moral ground, way how my character stay fly, the conduct squared up. Self-esteem, the day sky, new God on what the world's been waiting for. The days now, may I say, and I don't abide by the same ethics. They fan respect, yeah, obtain the credit for keeping the bliss erect, but with strange methods. But the epic of my name will reign and remain epic. Circumscribe my passions, my squares, my lift. Ask, is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rare, I spit, but the beach churchified, so I bear my shit. It hurt, I cried, this kid, and there to try to eclipse my soul, bounce back from it. Announce that I'm done with being the sacrificial lamb. The jungle, I run it, thus the lion conquereth over this numbness. Made a conscious shift, even in darkness, the sun lit on you, false lights. Don't have to be gold to glitter. Actors look the part, but just for show. Go figure, you dig. Pounder, you baboon or gorilla. I'm built like a silverback with hella track, no illa max than me. Master built her back, originally pretty. Take the mask off, 360 on my square. See the circle, if not your mask off. You poemish, dash your salt. The dialogue's trash talk, your past lost. Leave a footprints in the asphalt. You've an outline correction, last fall. I blast off, I crash off to the next zest of living. Sacredly sex some whose ass off. When she walked the ass off, I talk back to it like who makes sure Yanni sing. Her response, she dons me king. To who they gave me the script, my ops the prescription. This is my vision's description. Listen, I'm standing on mine, my circle is me. I absorb your hate and make it work for me. Transform into fuel as I evolve. Advances abnormal, dormant form and leave y'all right where y'all started at. Let me impart a fact. She'll be sitting in my ship as we chart the map. Thinking in destiny, the turtle and the hare. Acknowledge me as the circle and the square. Yeah. Now watch time and space rock the great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when the rhyme and bass drop. I rose up, took a shower, purified my auric field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown sharp, report and heal. Pound the pavement, sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child. Rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. It's the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path. Simple, highest form, spirituality's how you teach math. A humble beach is still a beach. Now feel the beach raft, rain fire upon them, and the internet forums, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its quorums. Establish Big Mom's house so she may restore him. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. The next post, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and smash. Most of them got vaccinated. with chips in they ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grips of that cash. Sad can't watch videos without the subliminals. Predictive programming weirdo. Sprung minstrel shows. The land's contaminated. Fruits and vegetables. Black minerals. The water and skies I fry. New with chemicals. Technology got me here in front of my desktop. Perusing these beats and whatnot. For my best option. Contemplating which bar will next pop to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox. Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing. 100% fresh short water. I'm on the front line. X marks the spot. I shine because of her, but she's the best part.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? What's up, man? Bobby Sharon, too.
Dark creates this spark. Ways the heart as I sunray my art. Her make the
Johnson's in there.
most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock the great matriarch. Whether it's day or dark creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sunray my art. Her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when the right and pace drops.
Over here. It's over here. It's over here.
I am exuberantly alive. Feel my pulse, y'all. Residents or households, motherfuckers, us. Discussing how to issue a rebuff. The reasons vary, I know of two for sure. These items took from the rich, white
Both sides.
poor. Girls gossip in workplaces and treat all as every other word is of. Now I'm so prosperous. Feel the potions in my blood to be live. Southside's very own splendor, I exemplify. Stand on my square like shit. I'm the coldest. Gentleman of leisure, Quetzalcoatl's ferocious. See the parallel. Each moment
Come on, my
brings
feet.
change.
Go ahead, it's right
Uses
there.
of strategies in all
That's
games.
my baby.
Amongst gangs, follow chain of command. Move opposition, blood fuse for land. So in your secretly in places, let it be. So there is this new age title. She controls the whole globe. Quite frankly, fuck y'all and fuck y'all's opinions. The pheasant serpent in this bitch. Monstrous intentions, mismanagements of the game, you lames. Simply filling God King's increment of dominion. Politics or prostitutes, quest for capitals. Tempered with the wisdom of caution. It's natural that I step back and few things for a while. Effectively pull strings from shadows of exile. You dig? Can rock any cipher, move any crowd with this big pistol popping. Remove any style. Turn your
Hey, Fred. What's up, beloved? What's going on, beloved? We need some of them good corn kernels, brother. Colorful ones. Not that GMO. We need the colorful ones. You know, the ones that go back over 220 years. Send us some to the PO box, but beloved. I'll start growing them right away. I know how to grow them in the winter, at least here in Arizona. Grow them around the year round on the reds. Even when there's snow on the ground, they were like, and I had corn growing.
All men of vision, I misunderstood.
It ain't easy.
Destined for victory, and yes, I could take you beyond good and evil. These two disciplines, parts of one whole. The tower I'm building, I see four big dishes. What the future's holding, world banking, ventures, food, shelter, clothing. You want the bond to hold bite on it. Free and bold businessman, cold-blooded in my hand is the globe. Suspended, complete control of the earth's curse. The restoration of international commerce. I have craftsmanship and subtlety for war. ability to transmit energy to much more than D&D. What I bleed is nuclear turgulation. After white heat purifies the hater, the creator of distant predicaments. Feel the pulse where I'm from, the cauldron of experience.
Temp? I don't know. What's the temp, John? You like? It's I don't know. It's
I got 63.
That sounds about right. It got up to about 70, I think, today.
Oh, shio. To my knees, EJ, bravo, bravo. So, y'all really thought that I was done with
Yeah, 61 I got.
Nah.
You got what? 60?
Y'all. Fellas up. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact: yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want
So the high today
back.
was like 63.
Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Look at past.
Tomorrow was back up in the 70s.
Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops.
But tonight's gonna be cool.
With the icebox, I'm saying that ops. From the skybox, I got scope on you pills. The smoke with some rules. Some of our folks are still dumb. Deaf and blind to the fact that blood, we gon' have this real some warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, placate or rage. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, go is no issue. Coulda blown it in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debunk was about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech, yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me. Stand on 2 feet, one turn the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence, mostly disguised compliance. Silence by clients, from conspiring to novice. Other aspirants of violence, terrorists of fire. Trying to try to hide, I'm trying to fight.
But I gotta say, what's happening, beloved? What's going on? Oh, you crazy wild Indians in here. What's happening? What's happening?
Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm not quiet. Our refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push all the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big Mom says come full circle, so vacate the premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau, or Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is
not cold. 60's warm. We was out here sweating, working in the fan. 60's not cold. 60 is beautiful. Kichiwa. Hey, what's happening, y'all? What's good? Not a lot. I wouldn't even bring this up because I'm not a braggart, but we have a world of indecency, and we have a youth that are coming up. Some are getting it, and then some are still broken. And I'm talking about the earth over. Okay, they'll be indoctrinated to fight the wars, none but cannon fodder, meaningless deaths, just like all those dying in all the wars that are going on. It's more than Russia and Ukraine, y'all. But this a little while ago, I went on TikTok to share something. It's for a laugh. The one y'all saw over here, you know, with the toes, with the bunions. It's all for fun. And it was this individual who I follow, or we follow each other. He followed me first and I followed him, but you know, get the numbers up, that's what I do. And had the Navajo Well, people don't know what the word Dene mean. The original of the word Navajo, the Athabasca language, which is from Siberia. The fact that they got the reservation around I said 1939. It's 1943 when they were given, well, a little bit before World War II. But before that, they had came from Fort Defiance, and they want to paint this 1700 picture. Nope, it's a lie. They want to paint this 1800 picture. Nope. They went through many children of older age till they got to the point where they're young. They figure out where they can indoctrinate them. The other ones, they died in the boarding schools by the Catholic nuns who are righteous women. Huh? And besides, a lot of them being meted out for all kind of SA, all that stuff and sacrifices. I know their history perfect. I know their history better than theirs. And it's hard when somebody sits there and you say, wait, I live amongst the capital. I live in the capital. I visit Red Lake, Copper Mine, and all the other places. And I speak some of the language, So I said, yo, you just got a big mouth. I told him, be quiet. I'll go out there and find out where you live at, And I says I was a good friend of the President Ness. We chatted many times. Him as a Native American, me as an Aborigine. I said, it's funny what there's a bunch of people who know who we are, and you are this individual probably seeking a paycheck by this worthless government. All right? He got quiet real quick. See, it's different when you go in there and you know something. But I said amongst the Hopi elders, the women, they're probably not here, because that was long before the fake demic. Exactly what I call it. If any of y'all in here, you can start spouting out your little mouths. You ain't no tough guys. None of you. Excellent in the military. Everybody can soldier. Well, not everybody, really. That's right, Navy, soldiers as well. Okay? Well, I don't know, the Navy today is a little, I don't know. I don't want to badmouth something I once partook in, but, well, I don't know about today. Anyway, I wouldn't want to be back in one of them 6 coffins where I know you never know who looking at what. No. But even we boot camp different from them today. That's sad. But you have these individuals always gonna rear their heads up. You know what I'm saying? And what do? Do you fight and argue on them? What I'm always expressing, you don't argue on them. If you don't know, you don't argue. Now, they have facts. They have been pulling up through meticulous work, pulling up great information. And one of the guys in there had some information that would have shut homeboy up. I was like, you don't have to go there with that, man. If you lived amongst the people, you will know certain things. But, the thing is, we can't be antagonistic to the point where we get into servitude and do the dumb things they do. Their numbers could never be greater than ours. Never. They don't even make up 1% of our population. Don't pay attention to that fake. It went from 13 to 11, back up to 13%. Make sense. And that's with this onslaught of the Margaret Sanger eugenics thing that was geared towards us, but utilized for everyone else. And they got to keep a balance, right? Because, a lot of our melanated sisters are too to know better. They're not solid here, dysfunctioning. And I already expressed as to what could be the problem. I'm not saying it is, regardless of what we've come to know. But chips. But the way I probably sound, I'm assertive. We're masculine. It probably sounded like I was, wanting to be combative. No, I just wanted him to be silent so I can give him his own rundown. But you can tell when people are just playing games. And I always say it's one thing to have a platform to embarrass someone, but another thing to educate them. But then I knew right off the back when he started saying nappy hair, this, that to them. And that's why I said, let me on there. Because I know some Navajo women that got afros. I know Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Didn't I actually do a posting? Didn't I show you all that? I'm talking about afros nappier than a lot of y'all. Oh, no. No, you can't get rid of this gene. If you want to sleep with the women or so-called whitewash them, the gene is powerful. Why don't y'all Google it? Why don't y'all Google right quick? Asians with afros. I ain't talking about the ones permanent who respect what we've done and accomplished, who are intelligent and who have high respect in regards to y'all, and they know that the majority of people doing dumb things, driving and racing in cars, getting the car, T-hand in the back and running and run. They know that's not who all the majority of people are. Those are knuckleheads, okay? Some of y'all say, well, I was a knucklehead once. Don't do that. And you was one of less than 1%, all right? And then you got these little monkeys walking around in the costume. I think they're starting to come to the realization that they're not the law. They don't know the law, and they have no sovereignty. Who they're supposed to enforce? Well, they're supposed to enforce the people that work for the federal government. But you know how it is when you get a 20-year war and you get a bunch of idiots. You know, I was in the Army. Probably ain't never killed nobody, but should waste a whole lot of bullets. It's like that sometimes, all right? I say about, out of all those people that shoot the gun, only 12% actually aim to kill. Unless they have to, okay? Hey, baby, go over there and get some of that corn, that maize. And leave that grasshopper alone. He's on his last. Yeah. But you don't have to fight and argue with people. So you have a department with a DOG, all of them are fraudulent. You'd be quite surprised how many play a part in the trafficking of bodies, work with certain individuals who they shouldn't, based on the conscription, how they indoctrinate people, and certain people they give them an envelope. You know, what would you do if you're in a costume and you received an envelope with $90,000 or $20,000 or $15,000? Hell, some are so cheap, even $5,000. Well, it's the real thing. Now, many people allude to this and pointed out, and the ones who no longer on the force who said no, the ones who had morals, you know, not the little schizophrenic sociopaths who have anxiety and everything else who can't even marry and stay in a relationship because they're abusive in nature. Those are the ones most of y'all deal with. All the ones the system have trained up to think they know everything and they don't know nothing. Right now, you got a bunch of them that's studying certain codes and stuff, statutes. They don't even know how to apply them. What falls after what or what falls before, you know, so-and-so versus so-and-so. You know, they're not attorneys, esquires, jousts. The fact that y'all sit there and you're comfortable in ignorance, not knowing how to deal with them, well, ergo your mistake. A lot of y'all's mouths are so big, you run them all the time without knowing how to keep quiet. You know? See, I know certain things about characters. When they come up, here's the deal. All right, this is how it's going to go. I'm already putting my gloves on. Absolutely. Had a few of them saw that, and they were like, what's going on there? I said, what's going on with you? You don't have no jurisdiction here, son. What do you mean? The words I just gave you that bounced off your eardrums into your big head. You don't have no jurisdiction here. What are you, sovereign or something? You. I says, I'm not none of that. I'm not a citizen or a national. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that your eyes nothing wrong with my truck. I check it. I do a walk around just like I did on aircraft, on parachutes, on aircraft that I learned how to fly. All right, with somebody in tow, making sure I did the right thing around trucks, air brake tests. I know how to do a walk around in anything. On nuclear weapons before loading them, I know what a walk around is. So you ain't gonna sit here and lie to me. Because I'm looking at your body, I'm reading your face, and the way you're breathing through your cheeks. You're lying to me. Now, we don't have no contract. Do you get that? I don't care about how you get your next paycheck, but you're not gonna get it here. You're not going to coerce. You're not going to bring some weak-ass fear tactic. Now go on about your business. Go see that truck that just went by here. By the fill-up, he was going 5 miles over the speed limit. Well, anyway, everything's okay. You take care of what? You have a good day. You have a good day, sir. Everybody wants to be a tough guy, and then they want to call a backup because they got a hit on somebody. Y'all ever know that? Hmm? And they're waiting. And then you got the idiot who got there, who don't know what's going on, ready to put their hands on you. Problem is some of y'all don't know throw punches. Some of you don't know how to do certain things. Just stop any movement. So I'm not advocating violence, and you better not be out there messing with them. All right? Because they're good guys out there. They're only following what they were told to do. Does that mean that's legitimate? But in this time and age, there's a lot of bad people. Just like on these platforms. People who don't know nothing. And they don't care that they don't know nothing. They're out here to rile you. Get some service to self and gain some control. Right? I still see people, they come over and check my videos and they know who I'm talking about. We follow each other on Facebook, and I'm just going to argue, and I'm not, and they show everything what a person is not supposed to be. Not a person, but the people who we claim to be are not supposed to be. That shows you that you still have a bunch of hard-headed monikers. They want to celebrate all the holidays. They want to do this, that, and the other because they're still egoic. They haven't killed off that part of them which won't allow them to ascend. Man, they should take it personal. I'm the one they should take it personal with. If they got a mouth, you can say my name anytime and I'll be right there. Ring, ring, lurch, you ring. I'll be right there. Okay? I'm just going to do a little reading today. All right? I didn't check the donations. If you donated, I appreciate you. Make sure you put in there what you donate for. This book, put book. If it's to this here, we just got a little bit more to do. Get that covered, get our wood, get that in the ground, get it covered, build our steps. And then hopefully maybe we get millennial over here to walk through there and go, ooh, with great ideas. And then we can build accordingly. It'd be lovely to have some ladies look at some things and go, why don't we go this? Why don't we go this? Why don't we, things that is needed and required. Now we already know. Unification, unity. Or maybe they did their work really good, and that's why it's not going to happen. It only happens with a handful because we're not drawn by the delusion of their grandeur. It doesn't have the control they think. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the reading. Me, I can go on all day. And it's going to be setting here soon, and it's going to get cooler even sooner. Let's go back and read 100 Years of Lynchings. I really wanted to read this by Lynch Girls Ginsburg. And please, if the ads do show up, watch them in their entirety. You can even watch the ad twice if you want. It really, really helps out. And that's especially for those of you who are stingy. It makes it up. It makes up for it. Whether it's 5 cents or 10 or 15 or 25 cents, it makes up. You know what I'm saying? It goes to the longer picture, and I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? No snow, dog pictures with the sun, beaming with the clouds. So this time of year, usually snowing. Us in the shorts. I mean, it's super warm here in Canada, end of October, in a long sleeve shirt. Isn't that something? That's crazy, right? Right? Well, you know why. You know what I mean? Y'all know why. Isn't it funny? We didn't get none of Asia, China, or Russia's. We didn't get none of their Social Security and their information. We didn't get none. We didn't get none of no Africa. We didn't get none of that. So you think your little so-called Central Intelligence Agency and Federal Bureau of Investigation all created out of racism and deploralism by the Zionists for one purpose, right? Which y'all never saw. Just like the Jedi working with the clones, right? Out there fighting those who they participate with. Sound familiar? And then what happens? In the Revenge of the Sith, is it? Or the clone, what was it? When it turned on, the Republic returns on them? The Jedi? Turn on, remember? Samuel Jackson, They didn't want to bring in who? The new Jedi? Darth Vader, right? Well, he would become Vader, right?
Right,
Anakin, right? I told you all about the metachlorines. I showed them how to actually look at them. That's not what they're called. Metachlorines will apply to what? Something plant-based, silica, salt-like, right? It's everything that's around you. It's made up of you. And y'all can see it too if you Get around the right people to show you how to see it. Then it's what you do after that. Meditation, applying yourself. Never letting yourself to become dysfunctional in the world that you come from. The lies of it. And you keep magnifying and magnifying. It can happen fast for some others. It can happen slow for others. It doesn't matter if the enemy practices. They're already steeped in the darkness. They'll never be able to pull into the light. Never. They've already been put into a position to cross the line. Could they come back? Of course. But that comes with their own personal sacrifice. It's not painful. It's not about death. It's not the illusion of it. Okay? And everybody has a choice. Even the so-called greatest mind. Anyway, let's go ahead and read this, and then we'll get into the power now. The next part I was going to read, and then we'll get into the dome and outer space projection, okay, from the last reset. And I know this will be upsetting. Well, I'm going to read it verbatim. That's it. New Orleans Times. Listen to this. New Orleans Times Democrat. That's the paper. March 24th, 1900. Lynch Negro who testified for another Negro. Ripley, Tennessee, March 23rd. This morning in the heart of the city, the body of a Negro, Louise Rice, was found dangling from a limb of a tree. The lynching grew out of a trial in the circuit court of Lauderdale County, during the course of which Rice testified in favor of one of his color, who was charged with the murder of a white man named Goodrich. We read that a while ago. I know it's hard to recall. Okay? We're not going to go looking for it. And he was innocent, obviously. New York Times, June 11, 1900. An innocent man lynched. New Orleans, June 10th. A mob willfully and knowingly hanged and burned an innocent man, as well as another who was probably innocent, near Mississippi City, Mississippi. Now, between midnight and 1 o'clock this morning, the lynching was the result of impatience on the part of the people of Biloxi, New Orleans, a nearby town, over the failure of the officers of the law to produce the man who a week ago murdered Christina Winterstein, a schoolgirl who was returning to her home near Biloxi after attending the commencement exercises of her school. The crime was an unusually atrocious one, even for outrageous as this. He spelled it wrong. Even for outrageous as of this nature, and naturally suspicion pointed to some unknown Negro as the perpetrator. Many arrests were made, and two of the suspects, Askew and Russ, were placed in the Mississippi City jail for safekeeping. The proof against neither was more than remotely circumstantial. In the case of Askew, the district attorney made an examination and practically declared the man innocent. The next night, Askew was taken from the jail by a mob and tortured with fire to extort a confession. After the terrible ordeal, the mob virtually declared the man guiltless as they returned him to jail. Now, yesterday, the district attorney, at a public meeting at Biloxi, obtained a pledge from the citizens not to molest the prisoners if they were returned for examination. It is stated on good authority that he thought the men could prove their innocence, and the citizens were aware of his views. Some refused to pledge themselves, and yesterday afternoon it was openly asserted that it was out of the question to think of postponing the matter any longer, as the crime merited a lynching. Last night a crowd went to the jail, secured Askew and Russ, hanged them, fired into the bodies, and then built a fire under them. You couldn't be a light skin, come up to me and I read you and think that you're gonna go home. It would never happen. And I'm not here for that. So mind your manners. Houston Post. Two blacks strung up, raved out of their guilt. Biloxi, Mississippi, June 10th. Lynch law ran rampant in this section last night. Two Negro men were lynched, possibly for one man's crime, early this morning at Mississippi City, and it is not absolutely certain that either victim or mob law was guilty. Henry Askew and Ed Russ, held as suspects, were taken out and strung up to a tree in a thicket just behind the railway station at Mississippi City. Attorney White had promised that they would be brought to trial on Monday, and yesterday at a mass meeting held in the city urged the people to support the laws and see that justice was done through the proper legal channels. Early last night, Sheriff Ramsey, in order to protect Askew and Russ from mob violence, moved them to listen to this, to a bathhouse. Sounds like these corrupt sergeants and lieutenants now, talking about their supervisors and every other monkey thing. After midnight, the mob assembled near the bathhouse and afterward overpowered a deputy sheriff, with whom the sheriff thought to protect his prisoners, and dragged the two Negroes away. The crowd, which was supposed to know nothing of the Negroes' hiding place, did not stop at the jail, but went straight to the bathhouse. That means it's because he told them. The Negroes were tied back to back and swung up to the same tree. Their bodies were riddled with bullets, and after death ensured was set on fire. The nauseating smell of the burning flesh could be smelled from miles around. Hanging the true Udeans, ain't that something? I wonder how the great-grandbabies feel right now who are out here at my age. Sheriff Ramsey and Marshal Mosley saw the members of the mob, but it is stated were unable to recognize them on account of the trees casting shadows on their faces. About 100 men gathered near the scene of the crime, waiting for their parents of the posse with their prisoners, but were disappointed. The mob was impatient and did its work when the first tree was reached. On June 2nd, Christina Winterstein, a 13-year-old schoolgirl, was outraged and murdered about 2 miles from Biloxi while on her way home from school exercises. Now, Askew and Russ, both of whom had been in the vicinity of the place where the outrage was committed that day, were charged with the crime. Sneeze, Florida, June 10th. Ernest Hardwick, a white farmer, was set upon by a gang of Negroes several days ago and beaten so badly that he died in a few hours. Only one of the Negroes was caught and sent to jail. 2 nights after the murder, a mob went to the house of John Sanders, a supposed accessory to the crime, and shot him to death. Another Negro, innocent of the murder, was also killed. Both bodies were literally shot to pieces. The next one's going to be a fun one. It's a long one. And we'll read that in a few days. We don't want to get too much into this, so there's a lot in there. Okay? That is not to push. Don't go start acting stupid and everything. Pay attention to the time here and look at everything that's going on in this world. Right? In this so-called world. All right? Be mindful of it when others won't. I'm getting to the ripe age when I hear the water running and feel like I'm begging. I got a urinalysis time. I had the water. I've been on fill up 3 or 4 jars. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the power of now. A guide to spiritual enlightenment with a new preface by the author, Eckhart Tolle. And I know you're going to be like, you're going to read that after reading that? You'll circle your wagon and get your head right. Okay? There's a lot of bad things out here. There's also a lot of good. Be mindful of that which is grand. All right? Our people were better equipped for war than anybody. Now look at you. And we didn't call it war either. Okay, this one right here. Sermon on the Body we covered, right? Well, let's have deep roots within. I want you to pay attention. Okay. Well, they stop communicating, conversating, and everything. They just. The key is to be in a state of permanent connectedness with the inner body. To feel it at all times. You should be able to feel your blood flow. That's what they call it, right? Your fluids. You should be able to feel everything, not your stomach when it's upset or you're hungry. That is a normal feeling. Your body, you need to learn how to listen to. You need to, that's why I say it's important. Like when you're meditating, you need to trace each limb and allow yourself to feel empty, to sit upright, to allow your toes to twitch, to feel the sensations of your fingertips. Not when you're pinching a nerve, sitting the wrong way or slouching and one thing goes limp, or you're sitting on a chair or a toilet seat too long, or it wasn't meant for your booty to have a ring around it. You know what I'm saying? Okay? You're supposed to be able to feel your brain, your eyes. You're supposed to feel everything. Not swish your tongue around in your mouth. It's your mouth. You should be able to feel it from the inside out. You get what I'm saying? Your sinus pockets. Everything you should be able to feel. And it takes practice. Okay? This will rapidly deepen and transform your life. You'll feel it if you work on it. The more consciousness you direct into the inner body instead of out here, diddy, so what? They're bringing in some more pedophiles. They're not going to let legals vote. So what? What has changed? Anyway, the more consciousness you direct into the inner body, the higher its vibrational frequency becomes, much like a light that grows brighter as you turn up the dimmer switch and so increase the flow of electricity. At this higher level, negativity cannot affect you anymore. And you tend to attract new circumstances that reflect this higher frequency. That's like going like this at a cop, right? Y'all say first, that's nothing but a finger. But it means something. First of all, if he's so professional, that shouldn't even affect him. How dare you when I'm wearing this uniform? You know how people out on falsely claimed, arrested, and wrote tickets and made a revenue of about $5,000 to this AM. You know who I am, sure, beautiful people. And I'll be dang if you're gonna sit there and do that. Woo, that must be them Duke boys. No, man, that's emotional. That thing's it's already destroyed. The professional ones look at that and be like, you don't pay it no mind. Now, if you're working for a corporation, and it's identified on your vehicle and you decide to go 5 miles over the speed limit, that's who they're supposed to be on. You know what I mean? But because y'all don't know the laws, you were indoctrinated by a lying school system to take driver lessons to get a driver's permit and then get a license because your mammy and your pappy were too stupid. And then you go ahead and get all these things which are contracts, no more no less, because the DMV is supported by you paying them, not by the federal government. So they're not legal. There's nothing about law about them until you start reading the true papers and documents about traveling. And then when you start reading that, then you know better. And there's no law in any state that is supreme from the supreme law of the land. But because the Supreme Court is a fraud, just like all the other Supreme Courts in your so-called states, you don't know no better. And you don't know how to convey, because you go right into there to those people wearing those black robes, worship Saturn, with their fake little god Zenith, the one who got Nimrod's parts together, right? Yeah, that's what you do when you walk through those doors. Your contract becomes, their contract becomes, and your true sovereignty, who you are now under their domain. I know it's just a building on your land that's perversion, and you don't know how to convene in it and speak otherwise because you don't know legalese. You don't know whether is this criminal or is this civil. They can't sit there and cry, abuse and this, that, and the other if there's not a second party. See, that's where y'all get caught up and you capitulate to that. And then how about the people who don't have guns, who are innocent, and this little monkey decides to draw down because he's given a contract to go on and do something that he wasn't sure he was going to do, but he wanted to belong to the bigger circle. So he out there and he murders one of our people, not knowing in the end the worst thing they want to do. I don't care how dumb these racists and how many got away with this, that, and the other, and the fact that if someone moved to Florida or Texas, nobody gives a fuck because they're going to have to answer. I guess you never heard none of them, for you ones that are watching, think you got it together, right? You never heard them cry out and speak things to you, did they? Because they couldn't. But you know something wasn't right because they tried to write it. You ever wonder who those who went and got those letters? So we make sure you keep doing the dumb things you do while you're in those costumes. If you keep your attention in the body as much as possible, you will be anchored in the now. You won't lose yourself in the external world, and you won't lose yourself in your mind. Thoughts and emotions, fears and desires may still be there to some extent, but they won't take you over. You actually will literally have control where control was mitigated to be had. That's not outside of you. That is you. Please examine where your attention is at this moment. You are listening to me, or you are reading these words in a book. That is the focus of your attention. You are also peripherally aware of your surroundings, other people, and so on. Furthermore, there may be some mind activity around which you are hearing or reading, some mental commentary. Yet there is no need for any of this to absorb all your attention. See, if you can be in touch with your inner self or body at the same time, keep some of your attention within. Yeah, any of y'all ever, how many of y'all like to chew bubble gum, pull your ear, and rub your head, tap your feet, you know what I'm saying, snap your fingers, and slap the side of your head. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And how many of y'all ever did that while thinking about, tonight I'm going to eat a fruit, all at the same time? It's important. The fruit's abundant. While doing those things, I'm not going to sit here and be a pariah and do it. I mean, it's easy. You just got to focus. And you can speak it out loud. Other people and so on. Furthermore, there may be some mind activity around you which you are hearing or reading, some mental commentary, yet there is no need for any of this to absorb all your attention. See if you can be in touch with your inner body at the same time. Keep some of your attention within. Don't let it all flow out. Fill your whole body from within as a single field of energy. It is almost as if you are listening or reading with your whole body. Let this be your practice in the days and weeks to come. Yes, y'all. You can sit here, snap your finger, right, rub your head, and be saying, oh, that blueberry juice was excellent. The spring in the sky would not to fear and worry. Right, you can pat your head, right? Make circles instead, right? And if you start transferring the circles up here, that means you're not paying attention, right? Tapping your feet and be focused. Close your eyes and one out, or saying, well, the ganeo and the avocado should fit perfectly with this meal. What's the benefit of it? And while you're doing that, roll through your Rolodex, look at everything, and see what first comes up. Greece. Oh, it's just that easy. It's not complicated, y'all. Do not give all your attention away to the mind and the external world. By all means, focus on what you are doing, but fill the inner body at the same time whenever possible. Stay rooted within. Then observe how this changes your state of consciousness and the quality of what you are doing. Try all that while walking. Whenever you are waiting, wherever it may be, use that time to fill the inner body. In this way, traffic jams and lines become very enjoyable. Instead of mentally projecting yourself, road rage, Karens and cans, right? Projecting yourself away from the now, go more deeply into the now by going more deeply into the body. The art of inner body awareness will develop into a completely new way of living. A state of permanent connectedness with being, and will add a depth to your life that you have never known before. You didn't have to run up under me like that. It is easy to stay present as the observer of your mind, not nobody else. They don't know the first thing about nothing. If they sound off, you should be able to pay attention to see if they're narcissistic, sociopaths, dimensionally absorbed, just fragments of a broken relationship of self, right? Observe your mind, develop into a completely new way of living, a state of permanent connectedness with being, and will add a depth to your life that you have never known before. Anyway, it is easy to stay present as the observer of your mind when you're deeply rooted within your body. No matter what happens on the outside, nothing can shake you anymore. Unless you stay present instead of in the now. And inhabiting your body is always an essential aspect of it. You should always be with self. And don't take that literally to the point, oh yeah, I'm being in a relationship. Oh, shut up. You will continue to be run by your mind. Imagine that. You actually in control of it. The script in your head that you learned a long time ago, the conditioning of your mind will dictate your thinking and your behavior. You may be free of it for brief intervals, but rarely for long. This is especially true when something goes wrong. You go right back to the old you. Or there is some loss or you're upset. Your conditioned reaction will then be involuntary automatic. You have to change that. And predictable, fueled by the one basic emotion that underlies the mind identified state of consciousness and fear. So when such challenges come, as they always do, make it a habit to go within at once and focus as much as you can on the inner energy field of your body. This need not take long, just a few seconds, but you need to do it in the moment that the challenge presents itself. Let me read that again. So when such challenges come, as they always do, make it a habit to go within at once and focus as much as you can on the inner energy field of your body. See, a lot of y'all want to talk right away. You're already lost. This need not take long, just a few seconds, but you need to do it in the moment that the challenge presents itself. Any delay will allow a conditioned mental emotional reaction to arise and take you over. When you focus within and feel the inner body, you immediately become still and present as you are withdrawing consciousness from the mind. If a response is required in that situation, it will come up from the deeper level, just as the sun is infinitely brighter than a candle flame. There is infinitely more intelligence in being than in your mind. As long as you mind your business, most people don't know that business is incorporated, right? It has nothing to do with the mind, but because you've been incorporated, you need to mind your business. You become your own contractual lawyer in a business that's not unsustainable. As long as you are in conscious contact with your inner body, you are like a tree that is deeply rooted in earth, or a building with a deep and solid foundation. The latter analogy is used by the Yeshua, in a generally misunderstood parable of the two men who build a house. One man builds it on, I like this, on the sand without a foundation. And when the storms and floods come, the house is swept away. The other man digs deep until he reaches the rock and builds his house, which is not, which is not swept away by the floods. You're gonna like the next part. Before you enter the body, forgive. I felt very uncomfortable when I tried to put my attention on the inner body. There was a feeling of agitation and some nausea, so I haven't been able to experience what you're talking about. What you felt was a lingering emotion that you were probably unaware of until you started putting some attention into the body, okay? Unless you first give it some attention, the emotion will prevent you from gaining access to the inner body, which lies at a deeper level underneath it. Attention does not mean that you start thinking about it. It means you just observe the emotion, to feel it fully, and so to acknowledge and accept it as it is. You know, when you accept that feeling and that emotion, right? The feeling is rather than emotion. When you say, okay, there it is, that's not what and who I am. Because you know you're more than that. And then you can say compartmentalization, all right? You don't need a reminder when you start changing yourself. So compartmentalization also means those things you lock away. It has no efficacy. It's meaningless, okay? It means to just observe the emotion, to feel it fully, and to acknowledge and accept it as it is. Now, some emotions are easily identified: anger, fear, grief, and so on. Others may be much harder to label, like your egos, or you think you are in control. They may just be vague feelings of unease, heaviness, or constriction, halfway between an emotion and a physical sensation. In any case, what matters is not whether you can attach a mental label to it, but whether you can bring the feeling of it into awareness as much as possible to actually know what it really is. Attention is the key to transformation, and full attention also implies acceptance. Attention is like a beam of light, the focus power of your consciousness that transmutes everything into self. In a fully functional organism, an emotion has a very short lifespan. Well, figure that out. And you all know, man, I was so stupid. Emotions drove me to that. And emotion ain't drive you nowhere. You drove yourself to the emotion because that's the only place you know to stop and get off at. And you pick it up and you take it for a ride. How's that work out? It is like a momentary ripple or wave on the surface of your being. When you're not in your body, however, an emotion can survive inside you for days or weeks, or join with other emotions of a similar frequency that have merged and become the pain body, a parasite that can live inside you for years, feed on your energy, lead to physical illness, and make your life miserable. See chapter 2, but also the parasites outside of you. You know, you got into a squabble. The guy pretty much spanked you. You go back to fight them again. You really don't want to. But it's that ego and the individuals around you, the parasites who are, if not as sick, sicker than you. So it's not just eternal, but it's mostly affliction outside because you're living in the outside world. You're not really mature and naturalized on the internal level of your existence. So therefore you will move and accommodate that stop, pick up, and drop off. So place your attention on the feeling, the emotion, and check whether your mind is holding onto a grievance pattern such as blame, self-pity, or resentment that is feeding the emotion. If that is the case, it means that you haven't forgiven. Non-forgiveness is often toward another person of yourself, but it may just as well be toward any situation or condition, past, present, or future. So that means even the agencies that move at the highest optimal level, right? Things you don't know about are moving on these very things, believing simplicity that they don't, yet that is exactly how they move. Trust me. That your mind refuses to accept. Yes, there can be non-forgiveness even with regard to the future. This is the mind's refusal to accept uncertainty, to accept that the future is ultimately beyond its control. Forgiveness is to relinquish your grievance, and so let go of grief. It happens naturally once you realize that your grievance serves no purpose except to strengthen a false sense of self. Forgiveness is to offer no resistance to life, to allow life to live through you. The alternatives are pain and suffering, a greatly restricted flow of life energy, and in many cases, physical disease. Let me read that again. Forgiveness is to relinquish your grievance, and so to let go of grief. It happens naturally once you realize that your grievance serves no purpose except to strengthen a false sense of self. My mother died 2 years down the road. I can't believe she's not here. Today's my mama's birthday. Shut up. I know. That's hitting you in the gut. You don't know my mama? Oh, there you go, doing exactly what we're reading. Forgiveness is to offer no resistance to life, to allow life to live through you. The alternatives are pain and suffering, a greatly restricted flow of life energy, and in many cases, physical disease. The moment you truly forgive, you have reclaimed your power from the mind. Non-forgiveness is the very nature of the mind. Just as the mind made false self, the ego cannot survive without strife and conflict. You have reclaimed your power when you truly forgive from the mind. Non-forgiveness is the very nature of the mind, just as the mind made false self. The mind made false self. The ego cannot survive without strife and conflict. You have all these people talking about, you're the straw man. You actually are the straw man. You are not walking in your divinity. You are going to sit there and debate and think you know everything. You haven't done the research to be able to equip yourself to speak this fraudulent language is based on some dead piracy crap that you are under because you choose to be under it. Only you can. You become present. You enter your body. You feel the vibrant peace and stillness that emanates from being. That is why Yeshua said, before you enter the temple, forgive. The enemy enters the temple, and they are reminded, to make a false pact, oath. That's why our treaties don't stand. So I'll be breaking down how you're linked to the unmanifested. Okay, next. Carlos Castaneda stuff a bit. Yeah, it does. It does. Absolutely, Dragon Sage. Let's get into the Dome and the Outer Space Project, year 1728, the last reset. Claudio Naselli and Mr. Nos confound him. Ooh, this is where it gets good. Here we go. I know y'all enjoyed the last ones, right? When we was reading through the Medusa and the petrified giants, and we did the remnants of the Titanic giants and the connection to the Anakim giants of Great Tartary. And how about the sacred trees and the Anakim giants? The fact that they're going to lie to you. They're going to have every little fake science and every fake checker, fake fact checker, right? Tell you Devil's Peak and this, that, and the other is not what you think it is. When if you know anything about how trees look, this, that, and the other, the ancient trees, just even by the information they put into the books of history, then you realize, oh wow, they just like to lie. And you know the messed up thing, as we were reading before, you're subservient to the lies because you want to argue and fight with them. You don't have to argue and fight with them because you know. See, when you know, you know. But what do you got to do with it? You don't have to go and spread information all over the world. You work on the inside, and when people see that, when it reflects out, then they ask, well, what are you doing different? And you say, are you really ready for this rodeo? You want to get on this roller coaster? Are you sure? And most people in ignorance will say, yeah, and they're not ready for nothing at all. So you say, well, give me a couple of weeks, and you pay attention to how they move. But most of the time, they'll lose interest, and those are the people who are lying to you in the first place, and the people you need to disconnect from. Anyway, chapter 15. There you go, audio. Chapter 15, the 8 cycles of humanity and their respective resets. First humanity of Hyperborea, Asgard, a place that nobody's been to. I think a brother was the one that went the furthest by knowledge of knowing. This first humanity was the beginning of everything. It was created according to the great ancestral books by 5 masters whose origin is unknown, and developed in the area of Asgard to the north, beyond the first known barrier of ice, or first dome, all Negroes. And the funny thing about it, they had to give you Thor. And y'all know the true original story of Thor, not this made up wash nonsense. Anyway, they had a direct connection with Hyperborea, red. The center of the known lands by means of a portal that transported matter. Oh yeah. Their technological advance was of great level, and especially the spiritual development. Here was the first clash with the colonizers called custodians, who then carried out what would be the first reset or radical change in the path of humanity that they would never leave. This undoubtedly marked the end of the free era and the beginning of the extraterrestrial parasitic influence. First generation. After the reset of the first humanity of Hyperborea, Asgard, the custodians, with the help of the Anunnaki, established a new civilization under their direct control. This new era then marked the beginning of the first human generation under their orders and modifications of the environment, designed and supervised to avoid any error that would leave them out of their control. They implemented advances in their system of surveillance and strict control to ensure that humanity could not again reach such a development and jeopardize their plan. The supervision then of human knowledge regarding technology and its infinite spiritual growth was totally limited. The development of technologies useful for basic infrastructures and social welfare was likewise permitted, but advances that might lead to the discovery of true limits, the discovery of the true limits of the invisible dome projector were suppressed. The custodians also fostered belief systems and religions, promoted mythologies to confuse the past and the true purpose of human creation, as well as pushed away any theories related to the five masters, doctrines that discouraged exploration and questioning of your reality under the dome and the limits of the known universe were also carried forward. The five masters still create. Great monuments and structures such as temples and palaces were erected, serving both to showcase the power of the custodians and to distract the population from scientific and spiritual exploration. These great monuments and structures always forced a human being to venerate the great custodians who began to play the role of pretending to be gods. There were factors that led to the second reset, and this happened for several reasons. One of them was the rediscovery of ancient knowledge. As time went on, this first generation human began to recover fragments of the lost knowledge of the first humanity, of Hyperborea. These fragments included technological and spiritual advances that challenged the narrative of the colonizing parasites. The rise of critical thinking also had a significant influence, and some individuals and groups began to question official teachings and investigate beyond the allowed limits. This critical thinking spread and threatened to destabilize their control. Exploration and external contact was a determinant. There were attempts to exploration that led to disturbing discoveries, especially of vestiges in the Hyperborea area. Some of the expeditions also got too close to the dividing barriers membranes and began to understand the true nature of their world. All this gave way to the phase of resistance and rebellion. Resistance movements began to form against custodial control, and these groups, though small, began to spread dangerous ideas that put the total control of their great colony at stake. The custodians then set in motion their second reset as they saw the resurgence of dangerous knowledge and the rise of critical thinking, decided then that the first generation had reached a point of no return, and to preserve their dominance, they carried out their plan. The reset was carried out through controlled catastrophes, which destroyed much of the infrastructure and accumulated knowledge. Methods such as floods, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions were used to annihilate any trace of the previous civilization. Then came the repopulation phase, initiating a process based on laboratory studies and advanced methods to introduce a new generation of humans with memories and knowledge adjusted to avoid repeating the previous mistakes. This generated in the following humanity a loss or suppression of absolute knowledge, leaving them in a state of total ignorance about true human capabilities and about their history. Again, this generated in the following humanity a loss of suppression or absolute knowledge, leaving them in a state of total ignorance about true human capabilities and about their history. Control was reinforced as they learned from past mistakes and established even tighter control mechanisms coupled with reinforced narratives so that new cultural and religious narratives were designed to be more effective in discouraging exploration and critical thinking, ensuring that the next generation remained under the desired control for much longer. In the second generation was created with the intention of being more obedient to the custodial controls imposed in order to prevent the reemergence of knowledge they considered dangerous. In this way, this humanity became less inquisitive as the stricter controls worked for a long time to perfection. Education from childhood was also adjusted, and technological development was also limited in comparison. Agriculture, architecture, and basic infrastructures were carried forward. However, any technology that could take humanity a step further was totally suppressed. The custodians continued to muddle their minds with systems of governance and social hierarchies that favored obedience and conformity, while innovation and dissent were discouraged. The third reset, which we'll be getting into tomorrow, is going to be pretty interesting. And you start getting into the third generation. Okay? I hope y'all enjoyed that. Max V, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? Happy Halite. Halito, what's going on? What's going on? Dragon Mahola. Yeah, the book's pretty awesome, isn't it? Well, did you pay attention to the stuff I read before? That should bring a little, you'd be surprised at what you really know. And the fact that they're not going to stop. Okay? Not trust, no snow. Draw pictures with the sun beaming with no clouds. I know you funny. Hey, Snooze, what's up, baby? Hope you caught all that. We're an hour and 19 minutes. There's no such thing as time. Anyway, I appreciate y'all taking the time, you know what I'm saying, and how things are moving. We're going to be sharing stuff. Ganja recorded some of the digging we're doing. We're cleaning up. He's going to probably put together a whole bunch of videos when the time's appropriate. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to enjoy the sun. Probably going to have me a chocolate chip cookie. And make this other tea and relax because it's going to get cold tonight. We got to go down the shed and get some butane out. I need to take Mylar and duct tape and tape the back. I really need to try to tape the back up. It won't hold because it's out in the elements. Because I don't have the double tape that I used to have. Like the little, this double tape was real sticky. Anything you get on, it's going to stick and it's going to hold. But it's like, it's sticky. Whereas on both sides, you peel it off. So you got to peel the one side off, put it on. It's like a gel. It's like a, it's like a gel, but it's not liquid. It's solid. And you can stretch it and stuff like that. You put that on. I don't care what surface you put it on. And then you peel the other side off, and then you close everything in. I don't know where it's at, what happened to it. I don't know where I got it at. I don't even know if I packed it up or, because I know I had a nice roll of it. And I used to like using like little pieces for my firearm to put down my little pressure pads and stuff instead of gluing it, you know what I mean? And this stuff will hold. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? This stuff is strong, you know what I'm saying? I wish I could find it, but I gotta go dig out some propane tanks because it's gonna be cold again tonight. It's going to get cold. We need to get the hot tent. I don't think I'll be able to afford it with all the wood and everything that's going to be purchased. And it's expensive. The wood is expensive. The 6x6 and the 2x6, which is the platform is going to be built from, it's very expensive. But we're going to do our best to price gouge, or price check, price gouge, to get the cheapest we can. And yeah, I know the 6x6 can be anywhere from like, depending on where we get it, pressure treated and all that good stuff, but that's what we have to have in order to put it in the ground. Fire preserves, but these are already treated, and then the mortar. So we got to get 2, 3, 4, can be broken down to 6 or 8, excuse me, and then we got to get 2 of the central beams for the platform. We start building it to hold up and putting in the spars and everything. So y'all, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an enjoyable time. But we still got to go up here and hack a whole lot of weeds. I got to get a bolt cutter, cut through some of the electrical wire, and we got to dig those things up. Millennial actually talked about using rebar bent end. That's actually a pike you can buy. That's about 7 feet tall. That will do it. You know what I mean? So we got our work cut out this weekend, and then following week we'll get with our Olmec to go over there and get with him and get some painting done, get a little more cheddar, just a little bit more cheddar to help us along the way. And then hopefully some of you will make up your mind and determine if you want to come and rough it and just enjoy, you know what I'm saying? We're not attempting to reclaim some past glories and all that. We're not here to change, you know, what they've accomplished, but it's troublesome for them because to them it could be a threat. What they don't know is that what it could be a threat to them has been existing, and their mistake was staying here, overstaying their time here. Bottom line, if you think this was supposed to last forever, they're not as intelligent as you think. No threat. I'm not. I ain't telling no secrets. I'm only pointing out some things they don't know about. Well, if you can only envision your ancestors, and throw away the crayon colors and the races and all that stuff. That is all made up crap. Just throw it away. away. Just throw it away. Yes, the Negroes permitted to build up this great land. And the rest of you really didn't have no part on it, but a handful. So just take it easy. Alright? Relax. Okay? And don't run your mouth so much. Stop with all the religious condor and context. I'm not saying that there's nothing beneficial, but y'all don't know how to put it together. Some are working hard at it, but it's dangerous. You hear me? And the ones who have crossed the line and betrayed their own, there ain't no running they can make. There ain't no, I'm gonna kill myself. It's gonna work. I'm not making this up. I'm just repeating what I've heard, what I've been told. Anyway, appreciate you guys. All right. I just lit a fire, running my carpentry scraps. Well, Dragon, you must have been getting it in. Okay. I would enjoy knowing what you were working on, bro. I think you might have said something. Didn't you say something about what you was building before? Oh, think none of it. Appreciate you guys. Anyway, let me go ahead. I'm gonna run to the shed. I got to pick up some butane, bring it back for our little heater and stuff. We got a couple of heaters. I actually got a couple of heaters, but I'm just gonna get the butane that's there, and because we got an electric heater in there as well that puts out nice heat, but we have a serious airflow. You know what I'm saying? And besides, right here too, I'm surprised this came over. Anyway, let me go ahead and shut it down, and I'll see y'all in the AM. You know what I'm saying? I build sheds and decks mostly, but I make bows too. Send me a bow, bro. Me and T like bows. You like bows too, don't you? Don't you?
Yeah, I gotta get one.
So yeah, send us a bow, brother. Natural. I'll put it to the test with the old thing with the old foam archery target. Yeah, send it out. Yeah, that'd be a magnificent thing. All right? It don't have to be over 65 tests. It don't have to be over that. 55 is optimal. So you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to start breaking up my little clips and all them little tangs. You build decks, awesome. Yeah, we're gonna build ours. We're gonna do ours. We're gonna do ours. You know what I mean? Be a pleasure to have you here. But anyway, like I said, I'm not into all this race and colorism and all this other. Regardless of who was done with what and what animal DNA, they did a lot of bad things, y'all. They manipulated and messed with a lot of y'all. You know. Well, bro, PO box is right there. Or you can UPS, it'll come directly. But anyway, I appreciate you guys, man. We got about 45, 50 minutes before the sun sets. And, oh, you trying to get caught up on requests? Well, excuse me, I was just saying, hey, man, I figured you would have took it upon yourself. Say, let me send that old engine, that old wild engine there. Let me send him one of my bows and let's see what he says. Man, because, you know, I put it up on here and be like, y'all need to get with Dragon Sage. I want y'all to check this up. Just like I do with Chief Two Persons Henderson. All right, he makes marvelous stuff. He's really getting into tinctures and all that. His son is, and his man, he's just he lives in Texas, just doing magnificent things. There's only a few I know about, but he made me my medicine bag. When Charisma passed away, he made my staff, the one that y'all seen, with the eagle feather and everything. It's just magnificent. When you know how to start making sinew and using pine tar and real charcoal to make hardened rock and all that kind of stuff, magnificent. He is really, really practical in what he does. You know what I mean? He has a childlike heart. He's yeah, you know what I mean? You already thought about it. Well, say no more. In the now. You know what I mean? But anyway, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all. I hope y'all hit the like. I hope y'all watching all the ads, which helps a little bit of revenue for the top for the moment. And yeah, see y'all name. Okay. Let me go down here and get these damn